Shalom, shalom, friends, and so good to be with you after Yom Kippur. So Yom Kippur just has finished, and I don't know if you know it or not, but Yom Kippur is a tough day. Now, it's a tough holiday for a lot of reasons. One reason is, of course, that it has to do with sin and forgiveness and asking God forgiveness. But another reason it's a tough day is because it's 27, 28 hours long, and it's no eating, no drinking, and lots of prayers and lots of services. Some 14 hours of services that take place over that day, just at our synagogue. So it's exhausting, but the theme is also exhausting because Yom Kippur, at its essence, is about our own mortality. It's about recognizing that there are limits to how long we will be alive. And in many ways, we put on the white kittle and we stop eating and we stop drinking as a way of saying we're rehearsing for our own death. And that's emotionally difficult, emotionally straining. And the prayers themselves, I think I mentioned on Yom Kippur, hearing the line this year that compared human beings to Chalom Ya'uf, which means a vanishing dream. Our lives are like a vanishing dream. It's a dream that appears, and then our brief time on this earth is over, and the dream vanishes. So this is hard. This is very, very difficult, and yet this is what Yom Kippur is about. But the brilliance of Yom Kippur, the brilliance of it, of course, is by recognizing that life is limited, then we are being propelled to say, let's make the most of the days that we have now. Let's make the most of this life that is in front of us. That's brilliant. What is also equally brilliant is what happens as soon as Yom Kippur is over. The tradition tells us that as soon as the holiday ends, as soon as we've had something to drink and something to eat, we are to do the very first mitzvah of the new year, which is to build a sukkah, to build a little hut, to build a shaky hut in our backyards, so that we will now celebrate, and celebrate we do. Sukkot, the holiday of Sukkot, is all about celebration. And it is celebrating, of course, the time of the year is amazing. I mean, you can feel it outside today. The time of the year is summer is over, winter's approaching, and all of a sudden we have these cool breezes and cool nights. So we build a little hut that is purposely left open at the top so that we can feel the breezes, we can feel nature. We decorate it with pretty pictures and chains, hang sweet-smelling fruits from the roof. And it's a small hut, so when we invite friends to come and eat with us in the sukkah, well, we're kind of crowded together. We're next to one another. But what's brilliant is that it's a day when we're meant to be with other people, meant to sort of crowd together in that space and have social time together and have singing together and laughter together, eat delicious food, celebrate life, celebrate the change of the seasons. And that is an amazing sort of turn of events. We go from one day being down in the dumps about life And the very next day, the very next hour, we begin to prepare for this celebration of life, which we call Sukkot. Yom Kippur is one day out of the year. Sukkot, 7, it's actually 8, but 7 days long. It's a whole week long. Now, you can't say that Judaism is all about gloom and doom when we're given a week-long holiday like Sukkot to be able to celebrate together. And for those people who observe Sukkot fully, they actually sleep in their sukkah. They camp out in the sukkah. They go camping in their own backyard and are able to see the stars. They're able to feel the pleasures of nature, and cold nights if they're in the environment where there are cold nights, and they might even feel rain if the weather happens to turn that way. And the sukkah is also green. It's covered with our sukkah is meant to be covered with things that grow out of the ground. It's green. And what else do we do on Sukkot? On Sukkot, we take a lulav and an etrog. We take this fruit that smells like a lemon, and we hold it with these palm branches. I'll talk more about that next week, with the palm branches and the myrtle and the weeping willow, and we hold them together, and in doing that, well, we've ritualized this taking of nature in our hands. But the whole holiday of Sukkot is meant to sort of give a stark contrast to the depressive nature of Yom Kippur. And our lives are meant to be celebrated, not meant to be spent wallowing in sorrow. And that is the brilliance of Judaism. It's the brilliance of laying these holidays together. Sometimes it makes me very sad when people either don't understand how these holidays fit together, or don't get an opportunity to celebrate them. In just a few days, we'll be celebrating at B'nai Israel. And if you haven't already made a reservation, we invite you to make a reservation to come to one of the events in our sukkah. I heartily recommend our Scotch and Savories night, where we sit in our beautiful sukkah and we enjoy each other's company, and we enjoy the savories, and we enjoy a little schnapps together if you want, or not if you don't want, but we come together and celebrate as the evening turns to dusk. We're going to conclude now our time together with the Mourner's Kaddish, which I want to remind you ends with a prayer for peace, because if there's one thing we need, it's a prayer for peace. Yitgadal v'yitgadash Shemei Rabam B'alma divra kirutei v'yamlich malchutei B'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael Ba'agala v'yizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei Shmei Rabam v'varach li'olam li'amei amaya Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitboar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh V'yidadar v'yidaleh v'yidalal Shemei d'kudisha b'richu Li'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata damiran b'alma v'imru amen. Yehei Shlomo Rabba min Shemaya v'chayim oleni v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imramav hu ya'aseh shalom olenu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Thank you so much, friends, for being with me. Have a wonderful week ahead.